This Monday, March 31st, on Days of Our Lives, secrets tighten, threats rise, and the clock is ticking. As March ends, the town of Salem finds itself at the edge of chaos. Orpheus makes his move, Rafe draws a dangerous line, and the mystery around EJ's shooting thickens. Let's break down what you need to know, because this episode isn't just dramatic, it's a warning of what's to come. It begins in silence. Inside a dimly lit hotel suite, Marlena Evans stands alone, unaware that her world is about to shift. She turns, the door creaks, and suddenly, Orpheus is standing there. No warning, no knock, just a cold, calculated presence stepping into her personal space like he owns it. For a split second, Marlena doesn't breathe. The years of trauma tied to this man come rushing back. In that moment, she's not the composed, brilliant psychiatrist. She's a woman staring into the eyes of the very thing she's tried to escape, pure, deliberate menace. Orpheus doesn't yell. He doesn't need to. His voice is smooth, mocking, every word dipped in venom. He doesn't come with answers, he comes with riddles. And each one feels like a knife pressed just close enough to cut. He teases her, hints that he knows more than he lets on. That John Black's disappearance isn't some coincidence. That maybe, just maybe, Marlena is already too late. Her fear spikes, not for herself, but for the man she loves. John is missing, vanished, and Orpheus knows she's desperate. That's what makes it fun for him. He circles her like a predator, playing a psychological game where he holds all the cards. He doesn't say outright that John's in danger, but he doesn't have to. His silence is just as loud as his threats. As the conversation ends, Marlena is left standing in the room, rattled to her core. Her hands tremble, her voice falters, because she knows what everyone else seems to forget: Orpheus doesn't make empty threats. And if he's back, and this bold, then John Black's life may be hanging by a thread. While Marlena faces psychological warfare, someone else is chasing physical clues. Steve is on a mission, one that's taken him, Paul, and Andrew straight into the belly of the unknown. A tip leads them to a locked-down building, its halls echoing with secrets. They move carefully, each step calculated, hoping that behind one of these doors, they'll find John, or at least something that points to where he's been taken. But as they move deeper, their hope begins to crack. Rooms are empty, files are missing, surveillance systems are wiped. Someone has been covering their tracks, and doing it well. It's a professional job, clean, fast, cold. Steve's instincts tell him they're close. But close doesn't count when you're trying to save a life. And just when frustration starts to build, Steve gets a call. Marlena. She's shaken, her voice low, her words measured. She tells him about Orpheus, about the visit, the tone, the feeling in her gut that something's horribly wrong. Suddenly, everything clicks. This isn't just a random disappearance. This isn't a kidnapping by chance. This is Orpheus pulling the strings, playing with people's emotions like chess pieces on his board. Steve feels the shift. What started as a search just became a war. He knows Orpheus, his patterns, his cruelty, his thirst for control. And if Marlena's right, if John is in his hands, then the window to bring him back alive is closing. Fast. Back in Salem, while danger lurks in the shadows and alliances shift by the hour, one secret is quietly tearing at the seams of a relationship, and it's buried deep inside Jada. The spotlight turns to Shawn, who finds himself once again confiding in someone he can trust, J.J. Devereaux. At first, it's small talk. But as the conversation stretches on, one name keeps circling back: Jada. And this time, it's not just about feelings, it's about guilt. Shawn can't shake what happened between them. Neither can Jada. They shared a moment, a mistake, before they discovered they were both manipulated in a twisted identity scam. A situation neither of them planned, but one that left lasting damage. Here's the problem. Rafe, the man Jada is currently with, still doesn't know. He's living in the dark, believing in trust that might already be broken. Shawn doesn't know if Jada plans to come clean. He wants to believe she will. But each day that passes, the silence between her and Rafe feels heavier, more dangerous. As Shawn opens up to JJ, he admits the truth is eating at him. There's no denying it anymore, he's invested in Jada's happiness. And that means he's tied to whatever fallout comes next. The dilemma is no longer if the truth will come out, it's when. Because in Salem, secrets have a shelf life. And this one is ticking. When it finally explodes, someone's going to get burned. Will it be Rafe, betrayed by the one he trusted? Will it be Jada, forced to face consequences she thought she could outrun? Or will it be Shawn, caught in the middle of a mess he never meant to create? One thing is clear. No one walks away from this clean. As if the emotional weight isn't enough, Jada takes an unexpected step, one that signals something bigger is coming. She sends a quiet but urgent message to Belle Black. A signal. A coded SOS. We don't know the full details yet, but what's clear is this. Jada isn't asking for help unless something is very, very wrong. And all signs point toward EJ Demera. Now, this is where things get messy. Belle has a history with EJ. Not just legal, but personal. After recently giving in to a moment of weakness and sleeping with him again, Belle has been emotionally spiraling. She regrets it. She's pulled back. She's trying to protect herself. But Jada's message threatens to pull her right back into the eye of the storm. At first, Belle hesitates. She knows that stepping into this again could drag her back into territory she's trying to escape. But there's something about Jada's tone, about the urgency, that makes Belle pause. Could EJ be in deeper trouble than anyone thought? Could Jada be trying to protect him, or expose him? Belle's torn. Part of her still cares about EJ, whether she admits it or not. Another part of her may want to help bring him down, once and for all. Whatever Jada's planning, Belle is now involved. And she's not someone who plays safe. The power dynamic is shifting. Jada and Belle, two strong women, both with complicated ties to EJ, are aligning. And EJ? He doesn't even realize the storm heading his way. Because when women like Jada and Belle start coordinating behind the scenes, it's never for nothing. It means something is about to break. And this time, it won't be them. Back in Salem, things take a sharp turn, and it comes from someone no one expected to snap. Rafe Hernandez has always played by the book. Calm, controlled, the type of man who keeps his anger under the surface. But not today. This time, he doesn't hold back. Rafe corners EJ Demera. The air is tense, charged with history and unresolved resentment. But this isn't a lecture. It's not a warning. It's a threat, one delivered with laser focus and dangerous clarity. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't shout. But every word Rafe says hits like a loaded gun. He tells EJ, point blank, if he crosses the line again, it's over. Not legally, not diplomatically, permanently. And the scariest part? Rafe means it. This isn't a cop losing his temper. This is a man who's done giving chances, who's tired of watching EJ manipulate, betray, and play games with people's lives. And now, he's ready to do something about it. EJ tries to brush it off. He's cocky, confident, but there's a flicker in his eyes, a moment of hesitation. Because even he knows, Rafe isn't bluffing. But here's where it gets complicated. EJ has just been shot. And when investigators start connecting the dots, Rafe's threat isn't just angry words anymore, it becomes evidence. A motive, a moment, a reason to suspect. So now the question shifts. Was Rafe simply venting after being pushed too far? Or did that moment of rage turn into action? If Rafe is innocent, he's just put himself in the worst possible position. If he's guilty, maybe he already knew exactly what he was doing. Either way, EJ has officially underestimated the wrong man. So where does this leave us? Salem isn't just on edge, it's coming undone. Orpheus is back in play, whispering threats and planting seeds of chaos. Marlena is shaken to her core, fearing for John's life. Steve is hitting walls in his search, with every lead slipping further out of reach. John is still missing, and the longer that silence stretches, the darker the outcome looks. Meanwhile, Jada is carrying a secret that could detonate her entire relationship with Rafe. Belle, caught between guilt and loyalty, is being dragged back into a dangerous web she's been trying to escape. Shawn is emotionally conflicted. And now, Rafe, the town's supposed moral compass, may have just crossed a line he can't come back from. At the center of it all? EJ, wounded, targeted, hated by many, trusted by none. And the terrifying part is, he still doesn't see how many people want him gone. The chessboard is fully set. Every character is a piece. Every move now matters. And with tensions this high, even one wrong step could trigger total collapse. This isn't just a murder mystery. It's a pressure cooker of personal vendettas, buried truths, and breaking points. As the week unfolds, the question isn't just, who shot EJ? It's, who's next? Because in Salem, once the mask slips, the fallout is never just emotional. It's dangerous, violent, final. And this is just the beginning. This episode is more than setup. It's a spark. Because starting March 31st, Days of Our Lives is diving headfirst into a web of threats, lies, confessions, and revenge. The layers are building. The danger is real. And no one, not Marlena, not EJ, not even Rafe, is safe from what's coming next. So buckle up. The game is on. The secrets are out. And the storm is just beginning. Don't miss a single twist. Subscribe now for detailed DOOL breakdowns and predictions every week. And tell us in the comments, is Rafe a real threat to EJ? Can Marlena trust her instincts? And who do you think is behind the gun? This is Days of Our Lives. And things are only getting darker from here.